Hello, good morning, and welcome to a new podcast with a new guest. And we are at a different setup today. It is not our own studio, but we are at the location of our new guest for this podcast. So I would like to introduce and welcome Mr. Krishnanjan Chanda and Babuda, as we lovingly call him. So he's the principal owner of South Point School, Guwahati, premier school and one of the best schools of Assam Northeast. So, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Rediscover the Northeast podcast, sir. A warm welcome and thank you for giving us your valuable time.
Thank you.
So, sir, I just always wanted to invite somebody from the education background and education industry. Since recently, just yesterday, the HSLC results have been out, and so students will be then now, pursuing their respective professional careers and going into graduation courses and all. So I think this is the right time, and will be a proper guidance from you with so much of experience in this industry. So to start with, again, I'd like to also introduce some more aspects of sir. He is also an avid biker, president of Rhino Riders, our motorcycle club, and he's been riding from last almost, I guess, over 35-40 years, and he has done a lot of trips on his bike in India. Some of the trips being, I think, major trips being in Northeast. You have been to Tawang, Arunachal, then Ladakh. Also, you have done from Guwahati, Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan,
multiple times.
So, sir has been riding, and I also have been riding with sir from last 3 years. So, I have now been 3 years with Rhino Riders now. And sir is also an avid international traveler, and he visits a lot of countries, and in fact, he has I think almost visited all the countries in the world
Except for South America.
And you are majorly a solo traveler.
Yes.
Last 3 years that I've been knowing you, so most of the international trips that you are doing solo,
and mostly offbeat places.
Like
Uganda, Rwanda.
Right. And I think recently also
My last visit was in a small little town called Ipoh. A lot of history and a lot of beautiful surroundings. It's in Malaysia.
Right. And I think, sir, recently you have been also a bit active in terms of politics.
Not really.
Not really, okay. But I think I saw, I think last year that you have joined BJP.
Yes, I and my wife are both inducted into the BJP as primary members. With no official status as such.
Okay.
We are not leaders per se. We're just
right. You have joined
and we are part of the education cell.
Right.
That's where we go come in.
Right. Okay, so sir, since just recently the HSLC results are out, and students will be now pursuing their careers in their whatever streams they want to go. So I just like to start off with a first question: the importance of NEET and JEE competitive exams been happening since a very long time, since our days, and in fact our seniors as well. So what is the importance of these examinations in India?
See, these are the two major competitive examinations that are conducted every year by the National Testing Agency, NTA.
Right.
And it's done as per the course curriculum of CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education.
Right.
And this gives entry to the students to engineering courses and also medical courses.
So JEE is for engineering and NEET is for medical?
JEE for engineering and NEET is for medical. And basically there's a grading system. The better scores you get in the competitive examinations, the better chance you have to get into
the top institutions.
Top education institutions, like for medical, it is always this
government medical colleges.
Government medical colleges, as well as the top
private medical colleges?
Private medical college is different thing altogether. These are government medical colleges. Their fee structure is low,
Right.
and
Right.
they have got very good faculty, and this
Right.
spread all over India. Many such colleges all over India, and then for engineering, top-notch colleges are of course the IITs, and then of course then NITs,
Right.
then others down below, and then there's a kind of levels that the students can get into, provided it depends on their performance in the
Right.
examinations.
Right.
Now our school is up to class 12,
Right.
and we have two boards examinations, CBSE, 10th and 12th as of now.
Right.
As per the new education policy that is to be complied with by 2030, there will be no class 10 examination, there will be one boards examination, that will be class 12.
So as per the new
We are in
guidelines.
transitional phase.
Okay.
Now,
So there will be no 10th exams.
no 10th examination.
Okay.
So I mean that's the ideal.
So there is
get
only
into
one
class
more
9
exam.
and then straight away study for 4 years and appear in the boards examination.
Okay.
That's after completion of class 12 course. And after that, there are several options like the students can crack those competitive examinations for engineering colleges, for this medical colleges, also law colleges like CLATs, it's called CLAT.
CLAT.
Then what you call hospitality industry, hotel management.
Hotel management.
These are all, to get into this good colleges, good institutions, you need to appear in the sit for the competitive examinations.
Right.
So, but of course, there are many private schools and institutions as well, where you can get into, but then the fee will be on the higher side. They're good, but then it's kind of very expensive here, very pretty expensive at times.
So, sir, which are the major and most important subject for like JEE and NEET?
For JEE, it is physics, chemistry, and mathematics, along with English. English is always compulsory. For NEET, it is physics, chemistry, and biology.
Biology, zoology.
Right. Biology is same.
Okay.
Biology is my zoology and botany together.
Right.
So and then the English is always the
Right.
compulsory component.
Compulsory
The
component
combination.
because your communication skills
Yeah.
actually improves
Yeah.
if your English is
Exactly.
good,
And
right?
then for CLAT, that's a 5 years law thing, law program.
Right.
And for that also the students need to appear in, appear in this CLAT examination,
Right.
this entrance examination for this 5 years program.
Right.
And the subjects of study will be economics and philosophy and psychology and all this.
Right. Right.
So that's how it goes. And hospitality industry, probably they have this another kind of combination, I'm not sure what. But basically the students have to prepare for the examination. Just can't go.
I
and
was
say-
coming to that.
Yeah, they
So
just
what
can't
do
go
you think,
appear.
like how important are these competitive exams for a country like India? Because in India, we have a very large population and there is foot and nail competition because the seats are very limited in the top engineering colleges, the top medical colleges. So how important are these competitive exams? I think?
See, the important means you want to get into some prestigious college,
Right.
prestigious institution, you have to crack
Yes, definitely.
these competitive examinations. Even if you can't, still you can get into a good, engineering or medical college or law college or hospitality. Those hotel management or
Right.
institutions.
Right.
But again, those will be equally good, but
Right.
you have to pay a lot of money.
Lot of money, yes.
Fee structures in the higher
I think
side.
especially for medical courses,
Yeah, they
the
do.
private colleges, the fees
Yes,
is
yes.
very, very high.
Yes, and but then of course there is even these colleges, they offer, these institutions, they offer fee reductions, depends on the performance
Right.
of the students, how they did in the class 12 examination. But 12th exam, if result, class 12 board's examination result does not guarantee you straight away into
Yes.
good college.
So I
You
think
still have to, but again, after 12, some students do go for undergraduate studies, okay?
Right.
But for that also, they to get into some prestigious colleges
Right.
offering undergraduate
Right.
graduate
Like
programs.
the top colleges of DU,
CUET.
the top colleges of
Yes,
Assam,
yes.
like Cotton College.
Yeah.
Yes.
There also there is a
exam. now.
Exam.
And I think
Competitive
that exam has come up very recently.
It's called CUET.
CUET.
Combined University Entrance Test.
So that was not there when we were.
No, it's a new development. It's a new
a
development.
few years back. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, it's a new
Yes,
development.
yes. So I think to so that the top colleges get the best students.
Yes. There's a grading.
Right.
I mean, through UGC, we know which colleges are right up top, which are somewhere in the
Because
middle,
many
which are at the bottom.
students who don't want to pursue, say for example, this professional courses,
They
and
want to get courses.
they want to go for like UPSC exams or state level.
Yes, that
So
see,
for them they have to
for
go to graduation.
UPSC examination and this is things like they need to do their 3 years undergraduate course.
Undergraduate
After
courses.
that, they can start preparing for the
Right,
UPSC.
right,
okay?
right.
Then either state service or central service.
Central
whatever.
service, yes.
So
And for that they want to study in a good college.
Yes, and no. For that also they need to go through some specialized programs.
Specialized program.
Yeah,
So this,
there are training institutes which train the students
Okay.
to crack this examinations for UPSC and
UPSC.
UPSC.
So जैसे ये जो CUET जो आपने
Central is what you call combined university entrance test.
Okay, so combined university entrance test. So उस test that is the test जिसमें you get into Delhi University colleges.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in
Anywhere
India.
in India.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for
Those may be
graduation.
private institutions, there may be
Right.
government institutions like St. Stephen's, which is a Catholic institution.
Yes, I was coming to
That's
that.
a highly rated college.
Yeah, that's the
To
top
get
college
into-
of.
Then Sri Ram's
yeah.
College for Commerce.
SRCC,
Then,
yes, is there.
St. Sri Ram's College.
Hansraj College, Hindu.
Yeah, and then there are many colleges, the Hindu in.
In fact, almost all the
Chennai.
colleges in North Campus of Delhi University.
Yeah.
And few colleges in South Campus like
and also
Venkateshwara.
in Mumbai,
Mumbai,
in
yes. Kolkata.
Ahmedabad, in Kolkata.
Right, right.
And then of course in Chennai.
Chennai.
Bangalore.
Then we have our Cotton College in
Yeah, top
Guwahati.
college for Northeast.
For Northeast Cotton is the top college.
Top college.
Yes. So because I see a lot of experience because I myself was studying. I studied in Delhi University. So like there's all top colleges: St. Stephen's, Sri Ram College of Commerce, Hindu, Hansraj, Lady Sri Ram College, then Cardia
top
College.
rated colleges.
Yes. So Indraprastha. So most of the talented students who had scored, above 95% in their 12th, and they opted
They
for
get
these
it,
graduation
yeah.
courses in these colleges.
But still,
post
they have
that-
to appear in the CUET.
Right, right. Yes, yes.
Like
Now-
I said,
yes,
the
yes.
percentage that a student gets
Right.
in 12 boards
Right.
does not guarantee
Yes.
entry
Definitely.
straight away into those prestigious
Definitely.
colleges. They still have to appear in CUET and crack that exam.
Crack that exam so that they, as per their ranking, they get into the top
Exactly,
colleges.
exactly.
Right. So as of now, so DU also takes the Delhi University also takes the CUET score for the
Exactly,
exams,
exactly.
and many meritorious students who have scored almost 98, 99%, 95 plus. So they then opt for all these UPSC exams, state level exams, or you can say mass communication, and so many courses per se.
That's right.
Right. So now coming back to again the preparation for class 12 and preparation for all these competitive exams, especially JET and NEET and all this. So I think the preparation is completely different, because back then in our days, so it's like if a student scores very high in his class 12 HSLC, but we see that they are not able to crack the top engineering colleges. So I believe the preparation is completely different. Like
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
See, boards examination and also this competitive examination, they have the same what you call course and curriculum,
Right.
as per CBSE curriculum, right?
Right.
Say for all streams.
Right.
Like, but thing is that the approach will be different in the sense that for boards examinations, it will be like more traditional questions that will be answered, problems that will be solved. But for this competitive examinations, it's all problem solving. Because they'll be given a
Logical.
booklet. They'll
Yes.
be given, like those what you call to those who are appearing in the competitive examinations to get into some kind of profession, like
Right.
What we call it, that we also host in the school. Our school also hosts these examinations on Sundays. recruitment tests.
Okay.
So now recruitment tests involves booklets that are given to the students along with the home sheet. Now the students, the candidates, they go through the questions, they go through the problems, and there will be possible responses to them. All four may be right, but one will be more correct than the others.
Right.
So that's kind of, it involves a lot of brainstorming and in-depth knowledge of the subject. So and they mark the thing, circle, how it's done, OMR sheets.
Right,
Circle,
right, right,
it's done in the
right,
circles,
right.
and that will be machine read. We send them to Delhi, where it's machine read and scores kind of
Scores are
scores given.
Okay.
And yes, scores are awarded.
So these tests are for that's a preparation.
That's for NEET. That's
JEE.
for JEE.
Okay.
So it's and also all these recruitment tests
Okay.
for say different departments like police, from and like
Administrative
for,
services.
services.
Okay.
All this. So
Okay.
it's the approach is different. So the students need to be also trained how to give proper responses to problems, because these are all problem solving, and it's a lot of
Okay.
now in-depth study, and also
Right.
how to approach the problems.
So like sir, coming to the preparations of such examinations for a student, like I suppose that will start from now, class 9. So what should be the kind
not
of
nine,
his
not 9, 11.
from 11?
11.
But
Up to 10 it's quite a general. There's
yeah,
high
but a
subjects.
student needs to get serious from 10. So
Yeah.
what should how should he be? How should his routine be? His preparation,
there are-
role of his parents
Yeah,
is
I
also
tell you,
very
I tell you
important. I
what,
believe.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Those who are on 10th on cracking this test for, say, let's say,
IITs.
engineering or medical, they decide in 9th, 10th standards itself.
That I'll be taking this. I'll be pursuing this professional.
Once they get into class 10, some of them, not always, some of them they opt for coaching classes also.
Coaching classes, right?
That can happen after school hours, during school hours. Sometimes this coaching institutions like LN and all, they tie up with
Right.
schools. like
Physics
ours.
wala and all.
Yeah,
lot
physics
of-
wala, yeah. So there's so many nowadays. And then they tie up with schools and they offer coaching to the students of the school. And either during school class
School
hours,
hours.
during school hours, or after school hours, post school hours. But and then there is a clear division. The coaching institutes, they coach them to crack this competitive examinations. They prepare them for the
All these competitive
competitive examinations. While schools, they consider it on the board syllabus. Ultimately, syllabus same. Like I said, the same for, but approach is different. So
Approach is different.
The coaching centers, coaching institutes, they kind of train up the students to approach these examinations.
Right.
In a different direction,
No, sir.
from a different
Role of the-
perspective.
role of
Ours
the-
will be
different.
Basically, ours will be.
But what do you think should be the approach of the child, the role of his parents? So obviously, school will be the school. He'll be teaching, learning something through the coaching institutes. He's getting the preparation for all these entrance examinations. But what should be what kind of a routine or he should follow? What kind of discipline he should follow?
Students must concentrate on the board's preparation first of all, because that's
Okay.
the basic.
Basic.
So if you don't have a proper understanding of the course materials, of the syllabus, the curriculum, you'll never understand. Understand what this this coachings are all about. Okay. The coaching syllabus, coaching.
So what
curriculum.
should be like his
So it's
day-to-day-
like I said, course and curriculum remains the same,
Right.
but the approach is different.
Approach is
Coaching institutes instruct or train them about the approach. We schools, we concentrate only on the boards fundamentals. We prepare the fundamentals, and for the rest for
Because of course
the add-on.
results of the boards also
Very, very
school
important.
reputation.
And no, moreover, if you don't score, say, let's say 75% the board's examination,
Right.
even if you crack AIEEE, you will not get to that, because you have to forfeit that.
So for the minimum gate
Yes.
is 75%.
Yes, and for medicine, it is for medical thing, it is 60 or 65 like that.
Okay, for medical.
or maybe this other way around, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's for I think it's medical it's 75 and for engineering it's 60.
60. Okay.
So if you crack the, if the
Right.
student cracks the boards, I mean the entrance examination, but still fails to secure the minimum cut-off marks in the
Minimum
board
cut-off
examination, he or she will have to forfeit that same.
Right. So, of course, post class 10, the student comes under a lot of pressure, right? So, obviously, that will depend to each and every child. So, like, what do you think should be his normal study hours, his routine at home, and like?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
See, 11, 12, once if you're taking a science stream, especially science stream, you have to forget about all post-class activities.
All
Post-scholastic activities. You cannot, if you're a
Extracurricular
good player,
activities.
extracurricular. Like if you're a good player, cricket or something, you have to follow that. And
Right.
no way you can combine both.
You cannot balance that.
But humanities, again, you have some kind of leeway in the sense that you can still pursue your passion.
Passion.
Yeah, like
But if you're a
dancing,
science student,
singing,
yeah.
sports. But science students are difficult.
They have
and
to be
also
like
to some
completely
extent,
focused.
This what do you call commerce.
Commerce.
But it all depends on the subjects you've chosen. See, even in arts, in humanities, there are subjects which are very, very technical. For example, geography, and all subjects nowadays have the practical component. English also
logic
has
is there.
English also has a practical
Right.
component. You have to make for every subject there is kind of the practical work to be done, project work to be submitted. Then we have this field trips and all that has one has to participate and produce, and also kind of produce reports on that.
Right.
So it's very technical nowadays. The whole education system is technical.
And in this whole system, obviously, parents' ka role is very important.
Yes.
Very important. And what kind of a role you think should be the role of the parents?
Ensure that the students are coming to school. That's very important. Attendance is very important.
It's very important.
Yeah, every one day absence means there's a gap.
There is a gap.
Yeah. The student when he comes the next day after missing one class, you will find it difficult to grasp what's going on there,
Right.
because otherwise the syllabus and everything is so vast. The teachers cannot go back to the previous chapter.
Yes,
And
yes.
go for just one or two students who are missed it.
Right.
Maybe during the leisure time or something, we have, of course, our teachers here, they do help our students if they are absent for some,
Genuine reasons.
Yeah,
For
genuine reasons,
medical
whatever, yeah.
reasons.
So they kind of help them out during the spare time in the classroom, sometimes on the phone also. They can, even though of course we are fully offline now.
Okay.
But we do allow students teachers interactions online
Some
if
special
required,
cases.
special cases, not as a class but individually.
So I think for a student who has opted for science, so those 3 years, 10th, 11th and 12th, so I think the parents,
no, not 10, 11th and 12th.
11th and 12th, so they're
Till
for those-
10 it's just the boards.
Right.
Because
So-
they don't have too many choices of subjects, like a 5+1.
5+1.
English, science, maths, social sciences, second language, and of course food.
Right,
Like the
right.
fifth subject that could be IT or banking or whatever.
Yes.
Song and singing, dancing.
Right.
That's also part of the curriculum.
Right. So, like for 11th, 12th, those 2 years, I believe, if, for a science student, so their parents also has to sacrifice a lot of things, I believe.
Yes, this
So
is
they'll have to forego any travel plans or
No,
maybe,
they still
cut down on a lot of
they
their.
have to cut down on the
They
social,
also have to maintain a discipline.
social life to some extent and ensure that
Yes.
the students they come to school every day, and also in the evenings they devote time
Right.
to either coaching classes or at home studying, preparing for the next assignments or whatever. So that is very essential. Yes, that's right.
Right.
Depends on her.
Acha, so recently, sir, for like a few years, because at our time there were also some this professional coaching institutes were there. Like I'm talking about say 90s and then early 2000s. But now, post I believe 2006, 2007, 2008. So all these institutes, mainly from Kota. So Kota has become a hub in Rajasthan. So all these institutes like LN, so they also have their headquarters in Kota, and now they have opened up centers all across
all over India. Even
So,
abroad,
yeah.
Dubai and all.
Yes.
Singapore, yeah.
So Ellen has a center in Guwahati as well. Then
Mhm.
Physics Wala is there. So I think one more. So now, for example, this coaching institutes, particularly not naming anyone. So I think they have also started. Many students opt for them as like they also conduct through them. Also they can give the board exams, and then as well as they are preparing for this competitive exam. So I think that is one trend which these coaching institutes have started.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you feel, is that correct? Because those are not
See,
proper
it
schools.
all depends on the demand.
Okay.
See, if a child, his or her guardian wants this kind of arrangement, so who are
So as a sir,
we to kind of ask them not.
No. And
It's,
so,
we give it. I mean, leave it to their better judgment.
right.
What
But as
they're
an
opting for.
educationalist,
Yes, it's too much of
from a
pressure.
school point of
Yes,
view.
from too
So
much
what
of
do you think,
pressure.
that is correct or incorrect?
I have got the data. See, say out of 100 students from in any specific coaching institute, top 20 will do very well.
Okay.
And they will probably be cracking those examinations, getting into IIT, NIT like that.
Right.
Another 20, 30 students will be just about,
Mediocre.
Little above average maybe,
Okay.
but they will probably be getting into NIT and then, or maybe in some other.
So what is the average batch size?
And bachelor size average.
For example, a coaching institute. I will not name anybody, but what is the average? Huge.
See what happened? This is in Guwahati.
So they have their
It's
sections as well?
centralized,
Like school?
Yeah. Now this center, they are setting up centers elsewhere also within Assam and in all
Right,
this.
right.
Because one major chain, they have recently set up institute, a branch of the institute in Dibrugarh.
Okay.
It's not just here. It's in Dibrugarh as well.
So they also have sections,
sections meaning they have centers.
centers.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about, for example, say in one center, for say Guwahati center. So for say there are 1,000 students.
Yeah.
I'm just giving an example because I've seen students coming from all across the northeast to Guwahati to for this coaching institutions, right? So and I think they are providing, they are marketing it like that, that you can join in I think from class 8 or say class 11.
11.
From 11.
They do have.
So for example, 1,000
8, 9, 10,
students.
but it is we don't encourage that, or no school will encourage that.
Okay,
Because
so for
8, 9, 10,
example-
it's not really essential.
Right. So for example, 1,000
Unless of
students.
course there is some problem with the student that cannot leave
Right.
leave home or something like that. Sometimes it's home, study from home only.
Right. So for example, sir, your school will have like say class 11, 12, 20 sections, A, B, C, D, E, F. So a particular.
Which
you have
class?
Yeah. So we have a defined strength per section. So these coaching institutes, I don't think they have some defined.
Most probably not that. That would be
Okay. So yeah, for example, if I talk about South Point School, so for class 11, 12, class 11 science. So how many sections are there?
50-50 for science, 50-50 for arts, and 50-50.
So how many
for
sections?
6 in all.
Okay.
Our capacity is 50, 100 per thing.
Per classroom, how many?
Per 50.
50. So there are how many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Okay, so 50 into 6. Right.
That's the maximum.
That's
it's
the
not
maximum.
that we have that numbers every year. Sometimes
Right.
it's less.
Okay. So, but per se, for example, any this professional coaching institute, I don't think they have defined a number. So they will take in as many
As
students.
as they want to. Anyone who can afford the fee and
They will come in
on
and
the
join.
higher side.
So they also have some
They-
sections. They have some limit of.
I have no idea at all.
Okay.
I don't think so. Or maybe yes, I don't know. But what I know that their tutors are highly trained and experienced and qualified, and they are from outside.
Okay. Outside, and plus when it
Delhi
will
and
also depend, like one tutor, one coach is teaching how many students.
What I hear is that they use the microphone in the class.
Okay, so now that is one catch. Like you are saying, sir, that you are saying top 20 or you are saying top 20% will crack IITs and EA.
20%.
20%.
Yeah, they'll probably get into some prestigious.
Some premier top
They'll
institutions.
do well in the competitive examinations. Another 20-30% will do good, but not that good.
Not that
They'll
good.
probably be in the middle run in colleges, which are of course NIT is one of the some not NIT or the same
So I
standard,
think
right?
that decision, I think we should leave it behind for the parents and the students.
Yeah, they decide, they take the call. Yeah.
They take the call.
Yeah, we try to help out. Ideally, see what we see, our students, some of our students have got into IIT or an NIT. Even they did last year also. This time also we expect some to get into that without any formal coaching done.
Okay. Yes,
Okay,
I was
only
coming
from
to that.
self-study,
Self-study.
online study, with the help of their tutors in the school, who provide them with special guidance, and they've done it. I mean, many students have gone into IIT and NIT and other good institutions like
Okay.
in
So
the
without
South,
taking any
without
coaching,
joining any coaching institute. They're
without
still-
joining any coaching institute.
And there are many students who have done 2 years of comprehensive coaching classes have not been able to succeed.
Because I'm seeing a lot of students coming from BPL families, below poverty lines, and from deep rural areas, and they have cracked,
True.
all these
True.
top institutions.
Right.
They have,
we have the same experience
yes, and they have scored
from
very
SS
good.
medium schools.
Yes, from SMEs medium schools. And they have done very good results in
Yeah,
their boards,
exactly.
right?
As well as got into those programs.
And obviously they will not have that kind of money to be enrolled in any coaching institute. So of course that will depend on the student, I believe, right? So as much as
it's a craze.
it's a craze.
Like students they think that getting into joining this coaching institute is a guarantee to get into medical or
Because the coaching
or
institutes are
engineering
also
colleges.
marketing it like that. I
Yeah.
believe. But as per the discussions which we are having, so I think it's best that your child should be in the school up to class 12.
Yes.
And if you think-
school attendance is a must.
School attendance
Because
is
see,
must.
finally, at the end of the day, in the course and curriculum, the board's course and curriculum is the basis.
Basis.
Without in-depth knowledge or understanding and comprehension of the subject matter, whatever coaching institute join, whichever coaching institute join, however good the tutors are, will not be getting anywhere. You need to have a in-depth knowledge of the subject that can only be provided in school during school hours, and while studying the course and curriculum of the board.
And then if you think that your ward needs extra help, he's a
That's-
bit
that's
weak,
what-
then you can give him in some coaching institute.
But another thing is that we have 5 days a week for 11, 12.
Right.
And the 6th day, 3 days thing, they have on 2 days, second and fourth Saturday, they have this, or first, third, and fifth Saturday, they have this second and fourth Saturday, I'm sorry,
Okay.
they have this doubt clearing classes.
Classes.
And it is optional. They may come, they may not come. If there are some queries, if there is some confusion, if they want the doubts to be cleared and want to have an interaction with
So those are extra
for a better
classes.
understanding, they can come. And that's absolutely, it's part of the school routine.
Okay, sir, now coming to one very important aspect, the role of a coach / mentor. So what do you think, how important a coach or a mentor plays in a student's life?
Yeah, see, every teacher is a coach and a mentor. Because see, ultimately, in academic matters, if any student has any query, any kind of confusion, he will definitely come to the teacher, nobody else.
Right.
And of course, as a principal, I head our teaching teachers faculty. They may come to me also.
Right.
And then we have counselors, 3 counselors. One is behavioral, one is psychological, one and another is academic.
Okay.
The 3 counselors here.
Okay.
They come every alternate 1 day a week. One of them will come 1 day a week. One
Okay.
will come the other day. So
Okay.
all the 5 days they'll be here. One of them will be
Okay.
here.
Okay.
So the students need some
Extra counseling.
some kind of counseling. There's some
Right.
confusion, something, because see, this is the teenage years. They throw up a lot of challenges.
Right.
Psychological, other things.
I'll be coming to that. I'll be like coming to that. And sir, as a principal and being in this role for now so long, so what do you think about the role of a teacher? Like, are there like any 2 or 3 points you can highlight, say, for being a good teacher or a bad teacher?
See, teacher's job is to communicate,
Right.
and he or she must be a good communicator.
Right.
And teaching nowadays is not a one-way traffic. It's not a monologue or something, right?
Yes,
The
yes.
teacher comes, delivers lecture, goes away, and gives some notes. Okay, on the blackboard that the students have to note down and kind of reproduce in the examination. It's not so anymore. It's all matter of fact, understanding of the subject, concept, everything. And see what happens, like nowadays, even the examination system has changed in the sense it is not just learning facts and figures and reproducing it. You have to learning. So these facts and figures are always available. It's there in the net.
Right.
You go back home.
And yes, again now.
And then how to utilize that?
Right.
How to utilize that in meaningful way? That is
Meaningful
the
way.
main concern now. And the questions also, question papers and examinations also geared to that
Right.
thing.
So I
what
think again, sir, this is also a big challenge, I believe, because many people taking up this noble profession of teaching. So I'll call it a noble profession. So like many parents wants that if my child is preparing for IIT, so his coach or mentor should be somebody who is from IIT. But there will be many students who has cracked IITs, they have passed out, but they will not go in a teaching profession. They will be opting for some corporate job, high-paying corporate job.
There is a trend that I have noticed.
Yes.
The 2 of our science teachers are from engineering background.
From engineering.
Both from NIT.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have opted for a teaching background.
Yes. They worked in the corporate sector. Then I don't know, somehow didn't like it. Then they did. Then they, because to be a teacher you have to have a BA degree, right? Bachelor of Education. So did that as well. That's a 3 years program, and they did that. And then they came back to reverted to teaching profession. Yeah.
Okay.
So they wanted to be teachers. So they prepared themselves accordingly, even after having completed and done their master's degree or whatever. Not so far in medical.
But I think it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Because such
Yeah.
talented people coming
Yeah.
into teaching profession.
Exactly. They did their B.Ed and they have joined schools.
And in fact, recently, one of my known, family, a long distance family relation. So his wife is an engineer. She did her PhD from IIT and all, and she was working in corporate in Reliance in Gujarat, Jamnagar. And she had applied many years back in a engineering college, JEE, Jorat Engineering College, and she got the job. And she left the corporate job and now she is in JEE.
As a professor.
As a professor. So
That's also teaching.
That's teaching, but
Yeah.
a few challenges which she faced initially when I was speaking with her husband, that since she was in a corporate job, so when she came back to teaching, she herself had to prepare the notes,
Yeah.
but obviously that will be a one-time exercise which she can use for every batch. But yes, that is one effort. This kind of people who comes back to teaching profession, they have to, because prepare themselves and prepare the notes accordingly. But I think that is very good.
Yeah, the approach is different. Teaching
Approach is different. Yes.
When in the corporate kind of in a board meeting or something, and when you're in a classroom,
Right.
your approach is totally different.
Totally different.
It's
And in fact, this
perspective is also different.
Yes.
The focus is also different.
Right.
Yeah, you're doing trying to do something there in the corporate, and here something else.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And one more thing, and I think this Gen Z generation, Gen Zs, so they have the liberty and the most advantageous thing of the digital learning.
True.
Right? So
Lot of
digital,
information is available.
yes.
That's the whole idea, because see, earlier on during our school
Our
days,
times,
our
yes.
school days, it's basically we read up notes,
Yes.
prepared notes, read them up, mark them up, and then reproduce the same.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
no more like that.
No
See,
more.
for example, I mean, in English, let me just give an instance. In English prose piece, okay, with the textbooks are there. There are some passages, and you have to go through the passages, get your pronunciations and accent and everything correct, so that your spoken English is
Good.
good
Right.
and comprehensible. And then you have to write. There will be questions at the end of the chapter that you have to answer.
Absolutely.
Right. But in examination, you don't get the same one, same passage. It
Okay.
won't be from the textbook that you have already gone through.
Right.
It will be something different.
Right. And one more.
And then in social science also,
Uh-huh.
the matter can be reversed. I mean, you learn something or you go through a passage or a chapter or a topic in social science, and then you get some questions to answer. Now in the examination, the whole thing might be reversed. You get the questions there first, then the material. So you have to correlate.
Okay. And one more thing, if I talk about engineering and medical, so engineering is something. It's more of technical maths, physics,
Physics,
and-
chemistry, and maths.
Yeah, and logic. So there is no
logic.
mugging up.
No logic.
There is no mugging up. You have to be technically, clear. Your basics should be clear. So I think that's one major difference. But in terms of medical, your memory
Memory is important. Physics,
memory is
chemistry-
very important.
Physics, chemistry, and biology.
Right. And for a medical profession, I believe the memory
And
part is-
psychology, if you want to get into psychology.
Yes, and memory is very important.
Yeah.
Memory
Of course.
memory is very important for the medical.
More like memory based than concept based, because engineering will require concepts.
Right. Okay. Now coming to the challenges and the difficulties, especially for the Gen Z generation, because then again, technology has also a negative aspect. Okay. So, what according to you are the since social media is now so huge, and you can use social media for the positive aspects of, you can say, gaining knowledge and learning. But what do you think are the negative aspects of social media for the Gen Zs
We,
and the distractions actually?
yes, we have major issue with
Right.
what do you call media, social media.
Social media. Yes.
Being misused left, right, and center.
Yes.
And that's from a very early age.
Right.
And because of the parents' negligence.
Okay.
Parents and guardians, they look the other way, or maybe they don't look.
They are not monitoring
they are
the
not looking
screen time,
at the problem at all.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
So and they demand smartphones and they easily get them.
Right.
And because the parents and guardians, they
Because
have
I've seen
lot of disposable income now,
this,
many of them have.
class 11, 12 students, in fact, below class 11, 12 also, that
Making
they have
reels and
they have the
whatnot.
latest generation of iPhones.
Yeah.
So parents giving them
I
phones
mean,
of
this is
1.5
indulgence.
lakhs. 1, 2
It's a
lakhs.
pure and simple indulgence. Now,
Right.
it is that once you start doing it, and then the students, the children start misusing them and getting into trouble because of that, and then you start crying over it. It doesn't make
There's
sense.
no
Yeah,
use.
what you have to take corrective measures at the beginning.
So I think in that thing,
Yeah.
the
We
role
have
of
issues.
parents, the
Yeah.
role of parents is
Yes.
very, very
Yeah,
important.
sometimes we have to refer the students along with the parents to the counselors, psychological counselors,
Okay.
to get them out of this
Habits.
what you call obsession
Right.
with social media.
And sir, South Point School being also a boarding school, you have students staying at your campus. So, with the current scenario of the social scenario, so there are a lot of distractions other than social media, like one will be drugs. Okay. Then second, I believe, is sex, illicit affairs, and everything, all these things. Since social media and a lot of negative content is also there, like, so what do you think are the challenges that you face,
So we have a
and
simple
how,
solution to that.
how do the parents,
Hmm.
okay, especially the parents, try to protect their children from all these things, because
See,
these
once
are
once
some challenges,
once
those are huge.
Yeah, once the parents and the guardians, you're talking about boarders, right? Residential scholars.
The boarders I'm talking, because you have students staying over here, so obviously you and your staff are the guardian. But I'm also saying that for parents as
Yeah.
usual, because drugs and all these things, these are like big challenge.
Yeah, true.
So how do you
You're-
protect?
you're
How
right.
do you protect?
Not just drugs, it's even smoking.
Yeah, smoking,
using of tobacco in any form.
But
We have some offences which for which there's absolutely zero tolerance in the school at least. One is this use of tobacco in any form, another is the use of alcohol in any form, and then there will be drugs, use of drugs in any form. Then you have this, handling of pornography, whatever it's either kind of hard copies.
Also,
or-
I have seen, I have read a lot of data and a lot of experience. I've seen very young, kids, teenagers, getting into illicit affairs with much older.
Could be, I'm not sure about that.
opposite.
Yeah, of course the attraction is there, and then
And especially, sir, since we are in Northeast, and
it all depends on the parents, their upbringing,
Right,
the
right.
home environment, the parents' guidance, the involvement, the parents' involvement with their children. It all depends on
I think it's
how
not only
well they are
about,
monitored, how well they are guided.
Yes.
And of course, how they coordinate with the schools where
Right.
they're sending their children to. Because, see, for example, if there are any issues, they come tell, inform us these are the problems my child is having, either with some of the students in the class, with the school, or in the neighborhood, or whatever, within the family. So we try to we refer them to the
Psychological counselor.
counselors, and then they sort it out. I mean, sometimes they call the counselors call the parents as well,
Right.
and have a meeting one-to-one with them.
And like say, sir, for being here, since we are in Assam and in a northeast state, now that's a problem all across the country. But we have seen a lot of this rehab centers coming up because of the growing numbers of
addiction.
drug addictions, and this happens, I think, from the early teenage years as well, right? So how can parents, protect
Keep
their
them,
children?
keep an eye.
Keep an
Simple,
eye.
and be involved with their upbringing. So now, see
Completely
what
be
happened,
involved.
nowadays both parents, many households have both parents working, and
Right.
that too late.
There is one challenge.
That too late, very late in
Very
the, corporate, even the bank people,
Yes,
those who are
yes.
working bank, they go back home. They can't go back home before 7, especially
Right.
during those closing and all those.
Closing and all, yeah.
Yeah. So and then they left in the custody of say
Maids
and all.
or maybe their grandparents or.
Yeah, and there's hardly any monitoring of what's going on in the class.
And also, I think
outside
the
as well.
parents.
But here,
Huh.
once they're inside, they are kept under very close surveillance. Like every nook and corner has those
Camera, CCTV
cameras,
cameras.
even the boarding house, right? So except
So I think
except inside the toilets, we have.
students in a boarding school,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think are more. They are, in one sense, you have peace of mind that your students are protected after a certain amount of time, because they are under a discipline and under restrictions. So I think
And they are not allowed to
restrictions-
go out. Without
They are not allowed to
supervision.
go out.
If they want to go out, they have to go out. Then in that case, we kind of provide
parents,
escort. No,
yes.
not parents, escort from our side.
Oh, okay.
Not that the parents they come, they take them out. That's different.
That's
okay,
a different thing.
But
Okay, so you send with escorts.
Exactly.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, that's everyone.
Because that control will be not there
you
if a
can't,
student
don't
lives at
let them
home.
out on their own.
Right.
Except in Saraswati Puja.
Except on Saraswati Puja.
They want
Right. So because that is their festival.
Yeah.
So because I've seen recently, last year only, we have seen a case where one very young guy and one girl, they died in a late night road accident, drunk and drive, wherein
Yeah, it happens.
the parents were not even aware that the kid took away the keys of the brand new vehicle, and he was driving, he was pubbing, and he was drunk, and
Where in
they met
Guwahati?
an accident in Khanapara.
Guwahati, oh.
Guwahati, yeah, that Khanapara accident, where 3 of them lost their lives.
Oh, that.
That
Scorpio.
the Scorpio
Oh,
accident.
I know. It was in the CCTV. It was caught in the CCTV.
It was caught in the CCTV.
Yeah, he just took delivery of the car, it seems.
Just 2 days back, so
And
this
speeding.
such instances.
Yes.
So I think also the parents needs to keep a check.
Yeah, that boy was 17 years old. Just
17 years
imagine.
old.
Just he's not even doesn't have. I mean, shouldn't
He
have
was
a
not even
license.
an
Also.
adult.
I don't know whether it was not even an adult.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying,
think
sir.
he just got a maybe he's got a
Yes,
learner's
yes.
license. I don't.
Just imagine the loss which his family
Yeah, right.
had to endure.
And I obviously didn't purchase the car with his own money. He owned
No, it was his father's money.
And the
obviously.
father let him drive. Just imagine.
No, father didn't. He just stole the
Oh,
keys.
stole the key.
His
and that too, there are two other persons inside.
two girls were there. I think all three of them dead, or one survived.
One survived. Four
Yeah.
were there.
So I think it's very important for the parents' role out here to keep a check on your child's company.
Exactly.
What kind of company he is
Exactly.
keeping? Keep a check on his friends
Exactly.
actually, and also the parents should have the
And-
contact details
And,
of the
and if
friends'
they're using
parents.
cell phone, if they're
Right. Right.
if they're into social media, they check what kind of transactions going on.
Right.
You know, who
Right.
they're communicating with,
Right.
what they're communicating.
Right. And I would say one very important aspect which was there at our time, like born in 90s, we are the millennials, right? That until and unless your child is not of the age of getting a driving license, please don't give your two-wheeler or four-wheeler to him. If they want to drive, just let
Under
them drive
supervision.
with your supervision. But it's not like that you just give the keys of your cars and they are going out for a party.
Especially two-wheelers. You know, there's so many accidents happening involving two-wheelers.
Right.
Every day there's
Yes.
some news about young people, young students
So I think
dying from
rich
crashes.
parents, I would say even middle class families and upper middle class families or rich families, they like gift their kids a very high-end phone on their birthdays, or maybe gifting
Motorcycle.
high-end motorcycles or gifting cars, and then that sometimes turns out to be a tragedy.
Oh.
In fact, last year also Dehradun, I think almost 5 to 6 of young chaps, they lost their lives in a high-speed car chase in the middle of the
Especially
city.
with the roads getting better.
Yes.
And those
Yes.
highways,
Yes.
6-lane, 8-lane
Yeah.
highways,
Yes.
when they're tempted. I mean, the young, they're of course,
Right.
not very responsible anyway,
Right, right,
and they're always on that fast track mode. So they kind of, invariably, ride very fast, very rash, and don't know where to,
Because it's very important to keep a check, especially boys, because obviously boys, they tend to be pulled towards automobiles, bikes, cars, and also all these fast motorcycles coming to India, super bikes, and obviously rich parents are under the peer pressure of their children if they are
Exactly.
getting a
Yeah.
super bike. So
Yeah.
I think that's quite unresponsible if you are giving them in their teenage years. At least let them have their driving license, and then that should be a check, I think, which should be there
Absolutely.
in a very, very proper way.
Bringing up children is a challenge in the sense that you should know, the parents, guardians, they should know where to put the brakes on.
Where to put the brakes on? Yes.
Okay,
And I think currently in this,
you just don't give in to every whims and fancy of a child.
yes,
Yeah, that will get them into problem.
Right.
Later on, you will regret that.
yes, because with the onset of so much of technology, social media, and there are a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the competition has grown so many folds that if your child doesn't perform well in his board exams, is not able to get into a decent or top engineering college or a medical college, if he is pursuing a professional career, I think his career will not take off.
Yeah.
Not take off.
Another problem is that single-minded pursuit of only engineering and medical degrees.
Yes, sir. I was coming to
I
that.
mean, there's so many other.
So, sir, I was
other
going
options
through a
that you
data.
can-
I was-
Like for example, even this humanities.
Hmm.
There's so many subjects
Right.
and so
Right.
many openings beyond
Right.
class 12.
Right.
Especially, there are so many different avenues that you can
Right.
explore.
Right.
And then the best part is that much of these avenues don't have too much of traffic, in the sense that they're not
They are not that
less
competitive.
competition, less competition, but lot of job opportunities and many way you can really excel.
So I was going through a data that almost 40 to 50 lakhs of students after their boards, science students, their main career choices either engineering, JEE, or medical.
Yeah.
And I think that tradition has been going on for last 50, 60 years, right? And it is still there.
So
So
I'm not very sure whether we do have the requirement for that many
That's
engineers
what.
or doctors.
Right.
Doctors may be engineers, I'm not very sure.
Yes, because I have seen many engineers post completing their engineering
Sitting at home.
courses.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They are sitting at home without jobs,
Oh.
or they are
Medical doesn't
opting
happen.
for
Medical doesn't happen.
medical doesn't happen, but they are opting. They have completely changed their career paths. They have gone and they are doing MBAs, business administrations, or maybe they are opting for this bank PO exams. They are
Exactly.
preparing for bank PO exams.
Exactly.
But that is
even
like,
even administrative.
there is no link. So like you have wasted those 4 years of your engineering
Yeah.
doing a course, and then you are opting for a bank PO, or maybe you are going for a MBA and have landed into a sales job. And I am a live example of that. I am an engineer. I did IT, computer science, but then I did since I was not very strong in those subjects, so I then pursued MBA, and then now I'm in sales.
Corporate.
I'm in corporate and sales. So, sir, coming to this point, I think for a role of a parent, it is very important to identify the strength of your child.
Yeah. That's why we have counseling.
You shouldn't be forcing your child to take up science just for the heck of the tradition. That you need to be you need to be an engineer.
Issue.
You need to be a doctor.
Many parents, they insist that their children will either be doctors or medical.
Right, sir.
Even they are not fit for it, or even they themselves don't want to.
Right.
There's a lot of pressure being piled on these children, poor children.
Yes.
So I go for this too, and when they
Because
when they cannot cope up, when they somehow when they cannot not succeed in getting to the, all the blame is put on them.
blame is put on them.
By the parents, by the guardians.
So that is a very wrong
That
thing to
really-
do actually.
that is
a
very broken. I mean, that's
wrong thing to
wrong.
do. Like for example, sir, if a student is not good at maths, maths is a very important subject because we use maths in fact in our everyday day-to-day life because it's related to logic. Okay, but if a student is not good at maths and if the parents is forcing him for engineering, and engineering and maths is it's the base for engineering actually. So I think that's a very wrong move.
I know about this because I keep interacting with the students,
Right,
and I see all these things
Right.
happening right from my
Wrong career
eyes.
choices.
Yeah, that's why what we do normally, of course, is compulsory
Right.
for everybody. But then we do counsel our students and their parents about the best options that they can have after class 12.
Right. So that is very important. That is one thing, that if your child is, his strength lies in subjects which are non-technical, please ask him to take up arts.
Yes. Sometimes the parents are also very understanding in the sense that
Right.
one of our students who got around 96% in class 12 boards,
Right.
science, okay, she switched to pure arts.
Okay.
That to performing arts, drawing, painting. She's very good at performing.
She was good at that.
Yeah, and she joined a very prestigious institute, Central Institute in Delhi, where there are only 7 seats from Northeast.
Okay.
She got into that.
Great.
So she's doing well. She's graduated.
Coming
she
to
has
that point,
graduated.
sir, I have like from last 3 years with Rhino Riders, I've been seeing South Point School. So sir, I think you from South Point School, you encourage your students towards extracurricular activities a lot, especially sports.
Yeah, and see, it's not encouragement in the sense that I'm forcing them to do it.
No,
But
it's
part,
encouragement.
it's
Yeah.
part of the curriculum.
And those who are good at that,
and
these
students must take up one or two course classic subjects
right.
as per the curriculum, within the curriculum.
And whichever student is good at which sport or maybe any extracurricular activities, the school is encouraging.
It could be sports, it could be art and craft, drawing and painting, or it could be performing arts, like dancing, singing, playing guitar, tabla, whatever. Or classical, creative, folk, and all these things are there. But it is within the curriculum. It's not something extra. It's built into our day-to-day activities.
Right. So now coming to extracurricular activities and especially sports and cricket for that matter. So South Point School has produced Ryan Parag. So the first cricketer from Assam who has made it to the Indian cricket team.
Yeah.
And from he played couple of matches for the national. Yeah, he played international matches. Yeah, no, he played international matches as well.
Okay.
He did a tour. So I think that's one very proud moment, and he's from South Point School. So anything you want to share of Ryan
No, Rian's, I know Rian's parents, Mithu.
Right. She was a national level swimmer. His mother, Mithu Borua.
Parag, his father.
He was a domestic cricketer.
Ranji.
He has played for. He has played.
Yeah, I know from before. Yeah.
Right.
Close. I mean, related to me,
but I've met also some young, cricketers who are from South Point, and I think the school is giving a lot of opportunities in terms of sports, and I think that is one very good thing about South Point.
An academy for
right.
For football, cricket, several academies.
Right.
Because before and after school hours,
right.
Within the school hours, we also have
there's always activities for supporting all these extracurricular activities. Right. So, talking about again Gen Z generation, and what as a teacher and being interacting with students for last so many years. So, what are the unique traits, or what is your observation, or what are your views regarding this generation, Gen Zs, and how different are they from the previous generations, our generations, the millennials, and any suggestions or advice that you want to give to them?
See, basically our generation, the 60s and 70s and 80s,
90s,
the 90s as well.
Right.
So we had kind of set perspectives. I mean,
right.
This is what we're going to do, this is what we're doing, this is where we're heading at.
Right.
That's it. Okay, there's not too much of deviation. Nowadays, students, children, students,
right.
They have so many opportunities to choose from.
Right.
And they become very aspirational also.
Right.
They don't many. Most of them won't be happy with the day's job.
Right.
Okay, so they'll try to explore more.
Right.
They have to kind of, like for example, this new projects. Because government's also encouraging
right.
to so this graduates, the pass outs, and those who have complete their education to explore new avenues, etc. Like
and do you think this
startups,
Gen Z generations, they are very impatient?
They are in a hurry to excel or achieve. But again, they are very
But at the
focused.
same time, they are very much focused, and I think they know what they want, and
they are getting there as well.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
They are very focused and they are very clear in their heads.
Exactly.
They know exactly what they want
to do, and they also, I mean, because they are aspirational, and they are prepared to take chances,
right.
And they are prepared for course correction as well.
Right.
So what happens if a student, I mean, if a young fellow, he got into some kind of profession, he continues for some while. Maybe he is making money, not making money, that's irrespective of the whole thing. But if he feels or she feels, no, not my cup
this
of
is
tea,
not my
whatever this is, I want to have a change, thing, profession or whatever, they'll do it. They'll do it.
So their courage is great.
Yeah.
So
for
they have
example,
that
I told you,
courage.
we have got the two science teachers in our school.
Right. So they came back from their corporate jobs, engineers.
And then after some 8-10 years, working as an engineer in some corporates or whatever, they kind of,
They came
said that
back.
no, it's not my calling. I'd rather be a
Teacher.
they'll probably
noble
probably have teaching anyway. I mean, after duty hours, at home as running a cooking class, something like that,
right.
teaching, providing private tuition as a tutor.
Right.
Now they said they've started liking it.
Right.
I'll be a full-time teacher. So they took 3 years or 4 years off, did the B.Ed program, and then they started applying for.
Now that is one thing which I really respect about the Gen Zs. They are very focused. They know what they want in their life, and they are ready to take chances and risks. So these things are the positive points of this generation. Okay, so now while moving towards the end of the podcast, so would like to discuss somewhat about your passion other than your work, which is obviously traveling and motorcycles.
Yes,
and,
motorcycling. I was too I have been riding motorcycle since I was in school.
Right,
And
right.
it's always been a bullet.
It's always been a
Yes,
bullet. Yeah.
starting with the 350 army disposal bike.
Right.
I have got a 500cc
Right, right.
classic.
Right,
Classic,
right.
and I've also looked at
650 classic.
650 classic.
So when are you going to take delivery of that?
It's not yet available. Once they come, it comes
Okay,
in.
okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm the queue, but
Right.
right at the top.
No, we'll
Yeah.
be going together to take the
Yeah,
delivery.
right.
And,
So then we have done very long. I have the good fortune of having a wonderful co-riders.
Right.
We have we have a
Talking about Rhino Riders?
Rhino Riders Motorcycle Club. We have a registered club.
Right.
We do meet often. We do go off and thing. Nowadays it's because of work pressure. Nowadays,
Right.
because of this that NEP thing,
Right.
it's taken so much of my time that I hardly got time for leisure. Especially riding. That involves 3-4 days minimum.
And
minimum.
sir, being from a motorcycle like Royal Enfield, especially Royal Enfield Club, so now many of our members, in fact senior members, are switching to KTM's,
Yeah.
adventure bikes, and I think that's fine, right?
So it depends. See, it depends on your kind of what you call frame of mind.
Frame of mind, yes.
Somebody like for me,
Right.
many others. We are very kind of slow riders.
And comfortable.
We are
with our
comfortable. We are
Enfields.
we ride heavy bikes. We don't do too much of off-roading.
Right.
If required, we do. If there are certain stretches. But then we go on highways and
Do a lot of
hill,
actually,
or
yeah.
hill rides and hill terrains and all. We go stop there and maybe ride for the day, and before sunset we get somewhere, check in
Right.
somewhere, and then
Right.
spend the night, and next day move on. Maybe
Right.
see the sights around, then stay one more
Right.
day,
Right.
and then
Right.
stay one more nights like that.
Right.
It's very leisurely kind of thing.
Right.
But some are think they're only interested in speeding. No left, no right.
not taking anybody's names.
Simply zoom.
Yes.
The whole idea of the riding is to get the bike on the
Top gear?
top gear and
Zoom out.
zoom out.
No, sir. Hoping that we do a lot of rides together
Yeah.
in this new year. Okay, and
I think you're also into biking, and you have a Royal Enfield, right?
yes, sir. I've been. I'm very much into automobiles. I love automobiles. In fact, I do a major content regarding automobiles and travel only in my channel, Rediscover the Northeast. And I have a bullet. I've also been riding since.
I
long.
rode with you on a bullet, yeah.
Yes, yes.
But I think you've got something else now.
No, I still have my Bullet 350. I had purchased one Himalayan Scram,
Oh, yeah.
but I kept it for a year, then I sold it. So now, by maybe end of this year, I'm planning for another adventure bike. So I'm again contemplating on that KTM Adventure 390.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fast rider, but I'm
But you are
more
into,
comfortable into adventure bikes. actually.
Yeah, you're probably into that, what you call,
Off-roading.
off-roading.
Circuits.
Circuits.
Not with bikes, but with four-wheeler off-roading. I have a gypsy for that, so I actually participate in off-road events in our northeast,
I know that, yeah.
in Arunachal and Meghalaya. So that's about it, and like I hope that we do a lot of trips this year, sir.
Definitely.
Bike trips, and also maybe four-wheeler trips.
Yeah.
So
But four-wheeler's problem is I can't drive four-wheeler.
Right.
Because I'm blind in one eye.
Okay.
I can't see in the left.
Okay.
So to drive a four-wheeler, you need to have
focus and
wide vision,
Wide focus.
angle of vision.
Right.
But for motorcycles, two-wheelers, it's straight. That's
Right,
it.
right.
I'm blind in one eye totally.
Okay, okay. So now then, sir, just one last topic regarding current affairs and the current political affairs or whatever. I mean, recent unfortunate
Pahalgam.
terrorist incident in Pahalgam
Yeah.
and the current political and the current affair scenario of India. So, what are your views, sir? And just as a closing statement, while we are just coming to the closure of this podcast.
See, it all depends on whether if there's a war, if the Indian government and the state kind of tries to punish the perpetrators, I'm all for it. But we'll also be prepared to take pains on ourselves as well.
Right.
Any kind of conflict cannot be one way.
Because that will
the enemy will also try to hit that. So we have to
be prepared.
Be prepared to take some pain.
Because there will
on
be, I
us
think,
as
huge
well.
financial dent also.
Yeah, it will, of course. Now
Because
we are kind of on the ascending order, like our market is doing well, or our thing.
Currently, I think the
services are
financial
doing well.
market is also going through a very turbulent.
But
times.
ours is doing well. We are still the highest, fastest
Growing economy.
Growing economy in
Globally.
the world.
Right.
And the market, the share things also kind of on the highest. I mean, sometimes it takes a hit, then again it zooms up.
But yeah, if there
Like
is
for
a war,
Adani,
then
his
take a
thing
hit.
crashed totally
Right,
because
right.
of the Hindenburg thing.
But-
But he rebounded.
Right.
Like our economy is showing a lot of resilience, and also the poverty level is going down again. That is also as per report, as per data. The poverty level is going down. A lot of industries coming up. There's
A lot of investments coming up.
Investments coming up, and then there's the industry is big. Major industries shifting from China to India, and of course the Trump under Trump administration, we may expect a lot of expansion in the.
And I think Assam as a state is also getting a lot of
yes,
investment. Because recently in the Advantage Assam, I visited that.
and then this.
So all the major
semiconductor
industries,
that's coming up.
major industrialists
Lot of-
came
not-
to Assam,
not
and
just-
they have promised a lot of investments.
Exactly.
In Assam.
Exactly. The thing is that what we didn't have in India, in Assam particularly, we didn't have connectivity.
Right.
Now this all these
The roads are
coming
coming up. Road infrastructure is
We
coming
are
up,
there.
yes.
Moving it. Gadkari is doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
That's good. So
National highway.
because it's successful nations don't build big thing, what do you call great roads. The great roads build successful.
Right.
That's how what happened in the
China.
United States and China now.
Yes.
USA and European Union.
Right.
Europe.
So I think obviously currently the public sentiments are quite very high after the Pahalgam attack. But I think the government will take a very calculated decision. Because,
See, a lot of factors, a lot of things have to be factored in.
Right.
You know,
So no emotional decisions will be taken.
Yeah, obviously not.
It will be calculative actually.
But there has to be some kind of response, you know.
Response,
Can't
obviously,
let-
of course.
You can't let them get the perpetrators get away with whatever they want to do. You know?
Right.
And I think this is the time when some kind of proactive, decisive actions or policies need to be implemented.
Right, so right. So, so what are the future plans for South Point School? The school was established in 1960.
1960.
So it has come
I've
up
been
a
working
long
here
way.
since 1984.
1984.
And then 96, and 96, I've been working as a principal.
And South Point School was got into CBSE around 2003 from Seba.
Yeah, we had been with the CBS Seva for a long time,
Right.
almost 25 years plus.
Right.
Then because of guardians and parents preferring CBSE
Right.
over Seva,
Seva,
we
yeah.
opted for that.
Right.
And
So Seba was State
yeah.
Education Board as well.
Because see, at that time Seva was from January to February. So
Right.
their session was now of course it's April to March again, like,
Right.
and that didn't match with the rest of the
And
then we had a lot of
admission
because it's in
is-
Guwahati, a lot of people would come in on
Yes,
the
yes,
city on transfer.
Right.
They were having and then boards.
Right.
CBSE is pan India board, but they
Right.
have CBSE schools abroad as well.
Right.
So it's convenient for this, the working class people and service class
Right,
people,
right.
and those who have to move from one place to another on
Right.
transfer or whatever.
Agreed, sir. Agreed.
Even businessmen, sometimes they come in from different places
Right.
or move out from different places
Right.
from here to there. Okay, for them CBSE was a better option.
Right.
So they asked us to kind of we also discuss with other people, other stakeholders, and said okay. And 2003 we got the application for class 10, but then we all straight away also applied for upgradation, 11, 12, all three streams. We got that as well. And 2007 our first batch appeared in 12 boards.
12 boards, right. So, thank you, sir.
Anytime.
Thank you
Anytime.
for imparting so much of knowledge. Hopefully, all the students will be benefited out of it because so much of knowledge and which we got from you. So thank you for coming to the podcast.
That's just sharing of experiences.
Right,
Knowledge
right.
as such. I'm not repository of knowledge as such.
No.
But from my limited perspectives and
Yes.
experience that I have.
So it's required and it's
great
So of
to
course
share those.
share your experiences
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because it will
I
be
might not be
helpful
right
for
or
the
correct every time.
right.
There may be some
Agreed, sir.
where gray areas. But then of course we need to figure that out.
Definitely.
Because it's different for whatever way you look at it, it won't be the same. Yours. or-
Yes, everybody
or
will have their own
yeah.
perspective and point of view, but
Exactly.
still, I think a lot of knowledge and maybe a lot of students will benefit out of it. So please do watch the whole episode of this podcast
Yeah.
as soon as it comes out. So thank you, sir. Thank you for coming.
Anytime. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.